So today I'm going to be trying to explain Arnold Schoenberg's 12-tone system in less than 4 minutes. Now, after the First World War, Schoenberg was sort of trying to figure out how really to describe his music. He didn't want to base his music on the normal 7-note scales that the rest of music, up until this point, the Romantic music and everything, had been based on. So he decided to base his music on orderings of the 12 tones, going through, playing one of each note and playing all of them before repeating any note. Now, this sounds sort of limiting until you sort of realize that there are actually, if you can see that, 479 million ways of ordering 12 notes, which is kind of ridiculous. But Schoenberg did more than just order the notes like this. As we'll see, he altered these orders and changed them and transposed them to create much richer and deeper melodies than a simple 12-note pattern. Now, what Schoenberg would do is he would take his initial row, his prime row, like I have up here, which in this case is Schoenberg could then take the inverse of that row, so he could say, this goes down a tritone and then up a minor second, so I'll go up a tritone, then down a minor second, and apply all of that to the entire row to create a different version of that row while staying based in this initial prime row. This would be called the primary or prime inversion row. This prime inversion or primary inversion row would sound something like this. What Schoenberg would also do would be reverse these rows and take his initial row and just play it backwards, which would sound something like this. And the third thing that Schoenberg would do to these rows was he would take the reverse and the inverse. So he would reverse this original prime row, like we did here, and then he would do what he did for the inverse. So take the intervals backwards and flip the intervals around again. So that he would create this row down here, which would sound something like this. What Schoenberg would also do was transpose these melodies or these rows up to different starting notes. Instead of starting on B flat, it could start on D flat or G natural, and he could really do a ridiculous number of things with all of these rows. Now, to organize all of these, you create these 12 by 12 matrices, which have all of the primary rows, all the inversions, all of the reverse or retrograde modes, and all of the retrograde inversions, and he makes these into these matrices that you can see right here. That's all for Schoenberg. Tune in next week when I will be talking about chord function.